What's up, netizens? You're watching DarkStar. The moment the fans have been waiting for. Let's get to it.
This is the moment.
This is the moment.
Dear Director, our laws are not designed to outline every possible infraction that may take place. However, the spirit of the law is clear. Blatant disregard for the safety and well-being of our citizens in any form will always be a punishable offense, regardless of how well or by whom that offense has been justified.
Here they come! Simmons, what are you waiting for? Shoot them! I can't! The stupid gun is jammed! Step on it, Grip!
Yeah, no shit!
Whose idea was it to steal a jeep for these guys anyway?
I knew this plan wouldn't work. We all knew this plan wouldn't work. None of our plans ever work. That's why we carry guns.
We can get a car, no problem. We're better with vehicles than the Blues. Let us handle this.
Why did I even listen to them? I told you not to. Yeah, well, I already stopped listening to you 3 bases ago.
Well, that's not very...
And I never started listening to you.
This episode.
Force them into the wall!
On it! Where'd they go?
Did you lose them?
Looks like it.
What in Sam hell? I don't believe it.
Well, Sarge, I guess you owe me an apology. Turns out I'm not such a bad driver after all. Oh, come on! What the fuck?
Aw, man. That Jeep has a really big gun.
Don't get any ideas. Well, I guess I better get down there and save them. I'm really starting to hate this part of the job.
Well, at least you're getting a lot of practice at it.
Don't patronize me.
If we let 1 or 2 of them die, we can probably all squeeze into one car. I'm just saying, you should think about it. And if enough of us die, we can fit on a motorcycle.
All right, good. He's gone. Caboose, you stay here. I'll be right back.
You're leaving?
Yeah. For some reason, he doesn't want me to see Tex's body. I'm gonna go try to find her.
Don't leave me here with your body. It stares at me, and I don't like it.
You'll be fine.
It stares at me.
Stop it.
Got it. Great. You want to jam the gun? How about you shoot him?
Girl, just get us out of this!
Hold on. I want to try something. I think I can make this jump.
Are you insane?
Yeah, fuck this. Brakes. We're really high.
Yeah, got him!
I wonder how many takes that took to make sure you get it.
We needed that Jeep. Yeah, and we needed not to die. What's your point? There's still 6 of us. Where are we gonna get another vehicle? Oh, hey dude, in the future, don't ask for shit.
Looks like the Hornet's gonna get him.
Yeah. They blew up our Jeep, though. That kind of sucks.
And they killed 2 of our friends, right?
Oh, yeah, that too.
Still, I think...
You okay?
Me?
Yeah, you. What was that noise?
I didn't hear any noise.
Sounded like
I sneezed.
you sneezed.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna go in the base now. Gonna go do some patrolling in there. You know how it goes. Standard ops stuff. Okay, see ya.
What are you talking about? The CO said to stay out here. Make sure no one gets in the base.
Oh, it's okay. I spoke to the sergeant. He gave me special orders.
Okay, yeah. Wait, you mean the captain?
Huh? Yeah, right. That guy. Whatever.
Straight.
Damn it. Moose, what is Church doing?
Doing? By not engaging Washington, he's just standing next to me, watching you get killed by the giant spaceship.
Oh, really? Can you put him on then?
Oh, I don't think so. We're playing a game, called Who Can Hold Still the Longest. It's a fun game. I'm going to have to call you back.
Fellow web surfer?
Chairman. Sir, while I appreciate your concern, allow me to correct you in one area. I value all our subjects' well-being, but I revere above all else our ability to continue as a species, our ability to survive, and no committee, no bureaucrat will ever convince me otherwise.
Hey, I have a question. Why did we agree to come along with this thing if we're just gonna be the decoy all the time? Looks like you have it under control.
I'll be right back. Tex? Tex, are you here? Tex, come on. Tex! Allison?
Alright, freeze.
Oh, what?
They told us to be on the lookout for someone acting odd, and you're acting odd. So hands up.
Hey, buddy, come on. You need to be like all...
Got
knocked
him.
out. Thanks, Wash.
Church, is that you in there?
Yeah, one sec. There.
What happened? I feel kinda...
What do you think you're doing in here?
I had to see Tex's body. She's like me, Wash.
I know all about her, Church. Come on, you're not gonna find anything in here.
But where is she? She should be here, right? I mean, shouldn't she?
We've all lost people, Church. What's important is that you remember her. And what's even more important is that you don't slow me down while I'm in the middle of a mission. What now? What is going on out here?
What does it look like?
We're running from the stupid plane.
Well, we need to leave. We have a Warthog at Blue Base. We'll take that and you follow me.
What about this ship?
Well, take it down.
Not that simple.
If it's so easy, why don't you do it?
Fine.
Should we help him?
We could, or we could take bets on how long he's gonna live. I got $10 that says it's less than a minute.
I'll take that action.
Pretty dope.
Okay, now can we go? All right, I need suggestions. The Freelancer Command Facility is an underground complex of secure bunkers and fortified chambers. Let's put our heads together and see if we can figure out a way to get in there.
I have an idea.
And let's not do it is not an acceptable plan.
Oh, well, you probably should have said that before you asked for suggestions.
Next idea.
Why don't we call command and ask them what the proper procedure is for invading their headquarters?
Next.
How about we build a makeshift nuclear device and blow the entire place to kingdom?
No, we have to get in there.
Why?
Because we need to unlock the Alpha.
The what?
It's the main AI from Project Freelancer. You know all the AIs that we've been dealing with over the years? It's where they were all copied from originally.
You can't copy an AI.
The main one? Fuck that. Those things have caused all of our problems. Why would we go looking for the main boss one?
That's a good question, Agent Washington. Do you want to answer that?
You will understand everything soon enough.
We're not going.
What? You have to go.
Not really.
We can't infiltrate headquarters with just 3 people. You're coming. That's an order.
Order? You're not a commanding officer. We don't even know what rank you are.
I'm a freelancer.
Not a rank, dude.
The other freelancers never gave orders. They just offered to trade favors.
Okay, then let's bargain. What do you want?
New words, guys.
New
Roll
base.
play the vagina.
Well,
Shut up.
what's laser?
Always with that.
Remember,
New mags.
robots and lasers. Lasers and robots.
Milkshake.
All right, we talked about it.
Milkshake?
Figured out
Is that what he
we
said?
want.
All right, let's have it.
We're watching a demo Griff.
Done. What?
Another wasted opportunity.
Congratulations. You're now Private Griff again.
Got anything lower?
Private Junior Griff?
I was thinking something with an insulting adjective or maybe a demeaning adverb.
How about Minor Junior Private Griff, negative first class?
I like the way you think.
You realize you just doomed us to certain death just so you can insult me, right?
Hey, if we do get killed, at least we'll go out on a high note. Well, everybody but you. That's to be expected. You haven't had a high note in 5 years. Well, I'm not getting goddamn streak.
We still need to figure out how we're getting in there. Ted?
I have an idea.
I really shouldn't even bother asking.
Oh, God.
should I?
I don't know. Caboose? An idea? I think he's bluffing.
No, it's a really good idea.
We drive there.
Yeah, he was bluffing.
We're going to Freelancer City, right? The place where freelancers from. And this is a freelancer car. If they think that we are freelancers because we are in their car, they will just let us right in.
But you don't look like freelancers or recovery agents.
They can't see inside of a tank.
True.
Caboose coming in the clutch, dude.
There's no way
Mad
this plan
stretch.
is gonna work.
Just stay quiet. Follow my lead.
Griff, get off me. Way of time.
Stop pushing me! Ow!
Okay, guys. It's hard enough to fit in here. Oh! Who did that?
All right, whose hand was that? Is
me.
Alright. Story checks out. Looks like there was some new incident at Outpost 17B. Glad you fellas made it out okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it was crazy. We lost a lot of good men, especially Joe Johnson. He was a great guy. I remember he had a girl back home named Fritzy.
Stop embellishing. They already believe us.
He also had a dog named Mr. Chomps. Anyway, he's dead now. It's sad.
You're clear now. So drive on to building 3.
Understood. Thanks, soldier.
Can't believe that worked.
Yeah, seemed like it was too easy.
Wash, you're gonna learn while you work with us. There's no such thing as too easy. You're just being paranoid.
Yeah.
Boy.
You're probably
Just
right.
Chilling, dog. Some fucking predator.
What's up, Forever?
Director, please do not attempt to recast this investigation as some type of personal vendetta. Our questions to this point have been fairly standard. Your reactions have not. As such, we have secured all your records and logs by the authority granted us by the UNSC. Now we shall see exactly what it is that you have to hide.
Alright, we got in, but that's only part of our mission, so no celebrating yet.
Aw, shit, and I was gonna be in charge of confetti.
We still need to reach the AI storage facility. Security's tight since the freelancers tried to break in here.
You mean when they tried to steal the Alpha before?
Exactly.
The freelancers tried to break into their own command facility? That's dumb. That's what we're doing right now, you jackass! So, just because we do something doesn't make it smart.
Tell me about it.
I have the necessary clearance to get close to this storage hall. The plan is, I'll take Church as a prisoner. If I take more than one of you, it won't be believable.
Agent Washington, I want you to take me instead.
What are you talking about?
I will be your prisoner. Let Church go. He doesn't have anything to do with this.
Caboose, I'm not actually going to be a prisoner. I'm just gonna pose as one so we can get past.
Have a good night, Church. Don't worry. I won't tell them anything. They won't get any information out of me. No matter how nicely they ask.
Oh my god, just shut up.
Sacrificing himself for his CO! What a good soldier. Why can't you two be more like him?
What, brain dead?
I would sacrifice Griff for you, sir. I know you would, Simmons. But it's just not the same thing. No, but seriously, I would. Just give me the word. I'll do it right fucking now. Let's go. Bring it.
Why are you taking Church? What about the rest of us?
We're sneaking past 7 levels of armed checkpoints. Are you volunteering?
It was a hypothetical question.
The rest of you hole up and wait for us to finish. And don't touch anything.
How will we know when you're done?
When you see every guard in the base running in one direction, that means we're probably in trouble.
All the guards? What? Wait, why are we taking Church again?
Just keep the guards off of us, and we'll radio when we're in position. This will be our extraction point.
Keep them off you? Yeah, distract them, dipshit. How?
Well, this is the center that came up with all the ridiculous scenarios you guys have suffered through over the years. So have fun. Break some shit.
Hold on. Don't come any closer. I need you to stay right there, sir.
Understood. I need access to the next level. The counselor wants to interrogate another survivor from Outpost 17B.
What? I thought all the blues at Valhalla are dead. Where'd this one come from?
I don't have to explain anything to you, soldier. Stand down.
Sorry, sir. I didn't mean anything by...
That's fine. I'll let it go. As you were.
Something doesn't seem right to me. I'm gonna have to call this in.
Absolutely. Call it in. Let me just...
Now!
Got him.
Hey, can I get a little help? I'm out of bullets.
Oh. I was like, what happened?
I fucking missed him every goddamn shot at point blank.
19 seconds late. Place. I want to fish it.
Sloppy.
I'm bored out of my gourd.
So what? Bored is good. Bored means we're not dying. Boredom I can deal with. I have years of practice.
Yes! Griff talked. I won. I wonder who can beat the quietest game again.
Yeah, good job. That's 10 in a row for you, Caboose. Hey, you know what? We should play again. That's 11 out of 21.
Yes! You are all going down.
We should try holding our breath next. Well, that's it. I can't stand this sitting around. I'm going mad with anticipation. We've only been here 12 minutes. Are you sure? My mission clock says 3 days. That's because you wouldn't synchronize at the start of the mission, remember? I said we should synchronize, and you said, why would we synchronize? It's like we're in the future, seeing what the enemy does before they do it. Why would we give up the advantage? Come on, Simmons, who could possibly remember the annoying conversation we had 3 whole days ago? 12 minutes ago. Griff, what's your clock say?
Actually mine's a countdown to the next episode of Battlestar Galactica. Priorities, dude.
I just
How
want
are
to
these, dude?
Man, you guys are really bad at this game. It's like you're not even playing at all.
Here. This is it. Whoa. What is this place? It's the storage facility for all the AIs. The rejects, the bad variants. Everything is here. Everything.
Dear Lord. What are all these lights on the walls?
It's holographic storage.
It's
And
just
one
a
of these
picture
things is
kid.
Alpha?
You work on closing that door. I'll find what we're looking for. And when I do, every soldier on base is sure to come running. So be ready. Church, I got it. Get over here. Here. This is it. There.
Oh, great. You found it already. Ow! Ah!
What's wrong?
Nothing. I just had like a weird flash. Ah!
Are you alright?
Yeah, I think it's this thing. It's like sending out images. Is this the Alpha?
No. This is not the Alpha.
No. Well, what is it?
This is Epsilon. This is my AI.
Oh, shit.
Hello!
Dear Chairman, I imagine
Dear
this
Chairman.
investigation of our program is providing you with the kind of attention that politicians crave so much. How very predictable. What has surprised me most about mankind during the Great War is not our ability to adapt to the new arenas of conflict, but instead our willingness in victory to so quickly return to the old.
You mean to tell me we've come all this way for this? Your fucking crazy AI Epsilon?
Yes. I thought it was gone. But Delta told you memory was the key. At first I thought he meant to remember our first encounter. And when I met Delta the first time, what I told him was... You were encrypted until you could be recovered.
Recovery carries risk. Destruction ensures that an AI...
It costs a lot of money, okay? It's cheaper to recover you than it is to delete you. When they removed Epsilon from me, he was unraveling, casting off all his thoughts. I was sure they deleted him, but it's
cheaper to store it than it is to delete it, right?
Right.
But why are we looking for this thing? What's the point?
The message specifically said that memory is the key. Delta was telling me that Epsilon was still alive.
And Epsilon is the key?
In a way. At the end of the war, things didn't look good for humans. And there were dozens of projects all trying to come up with the magic bullet to win.
Right?
Project Freelancer was one of them. They had the research with aggressive AI, but they could only get the one, and they needed more to conduct their experiments. So, they got desperate.
Right. They tried to copy it, but they couldn't, so they...
All AI are based on a human mind, and the director had a theory. He thought, if we can't copy it, we'll just have to do the next best thing.
They split it?
Just like a human mind when it's broken. It fragments. It fractures itself to protect itself.
They tortured it.
Like reverse engineering a multiple personality disorder. They presented Alpha with scenario after scenario of stress and danger. When it started to fragment, they harvested those fragments.
The Freelancer AIs.
These horrid little fragments of purified, compartmentalized...
So get all of them together.
None of them were a full personality.
Epsilon?
Some were good.
Like Delta?
Delta was Alpha's logic. It needed to protect itself from analyzing what was happening to it, so it segregated that part of its mind. The part that would be able to understand the horror of what they were doing to it. And when the anger came and threatened to take over, it split that off too. That was Omega, its rage. Gamma was its deceit. Sigma was its creativity. And Epsilon...
Oh.
Epsilon was its memories.
And memory is the key. Ugh, okay. Now I'm bored. Simmons, promise to do me a favor. If the madness sets in, just shoot me.
Do everyone a favor and shoot him now.
Is that an order?
Oh, save your bullets for something worthwhile. Hey, Simmons, get over here. Hustle up.
What's up, sir?
You're good with computers, right?
Well, I'd like to think so. I mean, there's really all different kinds of skill sets. Like, you have your binary computation, you have bus transport.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. If this is command, and these computers have some of those internets installed on them...
There's just one internet, sir, and I don't think it's located inside this building.
They probably have all the information about everything, right? Like in a spread of base or one of them ROM things. Data sheet?
I'm sorry, was that something I was supposed to understand? Was that even English?
Come on, man, you know, like all the mainframes on the reds and the blues. series of tubes and whatnot.
Okay, you're using a lot of terms that don't really make sense. I think you're asking me if these computers store all the data on red and blue armies?
Control-Alt-Bingo.
Probably.
Could you get into it?
Yeah, if I had some time. What are you thinking, sir?
Simmons, I want you to erase the blues.
What, you mean like the blues from our canyon?
No, Simmons, all of them. Gone. Erased. As in wiped off the map. Kablooey. Terminate process.
Sir, you just blew my mind.
As they continued to torture it, Alpha couldn't keep its sanity and its memories at the same time, so it had to purge them. That fragment became Epsilon, and I was just unlucky enough to have it assigned to me.
So you knew? You knew from the beginning what was going on?
Mostly. They never told anyone what they did here. I got flashes when they put Epsilon in my head, memories of what the director did to it.
You would say that you have overwhelming feelings of anger and a need for revenge?
More than you know. Just like you're getting now. That's why Epsilon went insane. It was meant to. It was all the horrible experiences that Alpha needed to shed to survive. And that's why it had to be removed from me.
Did they know that you had the memories?
I never said a word. But they had their suspicions. Do you still have yours?
No, Wash. I never had one. I was in the implant group behind you, remember? And after what happened to you, nobody got any more.
I would never let them put another AI in my head. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to hide what I knew from another program. Which, ironically, is what led them to think I could be trusted.
Well, what do we do with it?
We take it, and we get it in the hands of someone who can use all its information. Then they can bring down the person responsible for what was done to Alpha, and to me, and to my friends. They can take down the director.
Well, what about the Meta? How do we stop him? Isn't that the point? I thought only the Alpha could do that. Are we gonna find it or not?
No.
No!
After the first attack on Command, they moved it. They knew the AI would just convince their freelancers to come looking for it again. So they put it in a place where they didn't think anyone could find it.
But where? Shouldn't we be there instead of here?
Church, I need you to listen to me. Delta was the logic. He was able to figure out things before anyone else. It's why he left a message for you in a way that he knew only you could find, and in a way that let me see you getting it.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I know what you are, even if you don't. Why you can seemingly live without a body.
What?
It's why they stuck you in some useless backwater canyon where no one ever goes. Then why they transferred every person in your outpost to a different base than you.
I've been here 14 months.
What? Over a year? By yourself? It's why you always agreed with everything Delta
I
said.
think we should simply be happy it is gone.
That makes sense to me.
Why you didn't feel anything when Omega got inside your head.
Feels pretty much the same. That's kind of weird.
Why you can jump from person to person the way it can. It all adds up then. Omega was the one who inherited that trait. Church, there's no such thing as ghosts. You're one of them. You're an AI. You are the Alpha.
Crazy up. Imagine the jaw drop, dude. Oh, God.
Fellow
So
web surfer.
good.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel before you go.
Me and Tony weren't fucking around, dude. We told you, season 6, it gets fucking real, dude.
That was pretty cool.
Now,
I
to
didn't
sit
see
there
that
and
coming.
think, exactly, to sit there and think about, like, how they said, you jumping bodies, there's no such thing as ghosts. Just literally think of them going all the way back to season 1 and tying those fucking loose ends up this way later. It's fucking amazing, dude. I mean, because Church died season 1 by Caboose blowing him up with the fucking tank. You know?
Yeah.
It's just crazy, man. To sit there and think of them going back and fucking tying up those loose ends to turn this into the story it's become so far. It's so good.
Pretty good.
Yep. Six seasons of fucking around, except they turned it into actually
actual
build up
story.
for.
Mm-hmm.
It's an AI, dude. That's crazy.
Not an AI.
The AI.
The AI.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
hold
I'm
on, so
guessing they can do something if he gets all the other fucking AIs in his possession. Like all the other fragments in his possession. Maybe he can do some like crazy
they
shit.
split it. Is that what they're saying?
So basically, what they're saying is that the Alpha was tortured, and so, like, for example, it was tortured and tortured and tortured, and let's just say, for example, that it was the AIs are basically full people, right? They're based off people. They're basically full people, and so let's say you're being tortured.
Human mind.
So let's say you're being tortured. You understand that you're being tortured and that it's like fucking awful for you, right? So as as a human beings do this too. Like they'll like forget things or whatever that are traumatizing because they can't deal with it. Well, the AI can't do that because it's data and memory or whatever. So instead, it just splits off its logic, its ability to even understand what's happening to it, because it's just too horrifying, basically, that they're torturing it. So it got rid of the logic,
that fragment,
and
turn
that
it
became
into
Delta. It got angry that it was getting, tortured, so it broke off that. That was Omega. All these different things or whatever. So basically, as it kept doing it, and eventually it just couldn't handle the fact that it could even remember all this awful shit that was happening to it, so it got rid of Epsilon. That was the last one, except Epsilon is memory, and as you can see, like the various different things kind of actually replicate. Like Delta is actually logical, all that kind of stuff or whatever. So, what's the replication of memory? Well, how about all the memories of it being tortured? Well, that was what was inside of Washington's head that whole time. So that's why he went nuts. It's because basically he's just getting flashes of
torture,
AI being tortured mercilessly.
That's interesting.
I mean, and they even said how he was being tortured. They were like 24/7 nonstop scenarios of shit just going wrong until like the fucking AI could not physically take it anymore, and then would split off something, and then they would harness that, let it take a break, and then right back to fucking around the clock torture until they got another fragment. And these fragments were being placed in the freelancers.
Interesting.
Yep.
And now we've found out that Church is the Alpha.
Church is the original one or whatever. And the reason,
man, dude,
and it ties in,
forget.
and it ties right in because he got rid of his memory. That's why he doesn't remember any of this. That's why he doesn't remember he's the Alpha, because Epsilon has all of those memories.
So they got jokes and all the lighthearted shit and all that, but in the end, there's kind of some deep story to it if you pay attention enough.
To an extent, I 100% believe, and they've never really have come out and said it. I feel like they have jokingly a couple times that like, kind of like how Tony was just saying, like 6 seasons of bullshit. And then at the end, it was like, holy fuck, people love this show. We could probably turn this into more than just comedy. And then, bam, just slap the fuck out of everybody with like, Church is the Alpha the whole time.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, what?
Well,
like,
yeah, that's what this season was done.
I did not even see it coming. Like, whenever they said Church is the Alpha, I was like, no fucking way. Are you kidding me? And when they started talking about, like, there's no such thing as ghosts, this is why you're able to jump body to body, I was like, what? Like, it blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh my god.
I mean, there are, I don't remember one of them. There are plot holes that are like from the first few seasons and all that kind of stuff. And I actually think somebody said that they've talked about it before, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't know what the source would be if it is, but you would pretty much guarantee that they definitely did not plan like this.
They didn't write it out like, hey, look, Church, this guy right here is actually Alpha. He's the fucking...
It started off as a machinima funny shit. Like it did not start off as this, basically. But that's still just as impressive, though.
Right, absolutely. My guess is until Washington showed up for the first time would probably be when they were like, all right, the recreation or whatever it was, reconstruction would probably be, I mean, even the name kind of says it too, reconstruction, would legitimately be probably whenever they're like, okay, we have a chance to make a story. Let's bring this guy in to kind of like tie all this loose end shit together and then move forward from there. And that's exactly what Asian Washington has pretty much served this entire time, is bringing all this shit together. But yeah, it's.
I mean, this is just the moment. This is the moment. I mean, you can even look at the comments on this fucking video. Like, like the first time we saw this episode, it changed everything. In the midst of our overwhelmed and completely mind-blown heads, we knew in the back of our minds that Ruby had ascended, or Red versus Blue had ascended to a higher plane. It would never be the same again. I mean, it's basically just comment after comment about people like, this is the turning point where we realized it went from, funny series to
serious.
Yeah, this is gonna be, and it's still got jokes.
And they still do comedy the entire time, but like it's
got a story for sure.
We're just trying to get used as much comedy as possible. So like this is an actual fucking story now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's nuts. It's gonna get so much better too. But yeah, this is definitely the turning point. Like my first big like mind blown was like the whole fucking ship blow up. Like I felt so bad for Church whenever the ship blew up and killed Tex or whatever in fucking season 5, and they've been kind of like piecing that all back together. And I was just feeling bad for Church the whole time, even like what just now where we saw where he broke into the base trying to see her body. He was just trying to get any kind of information as whatsoever if Tex is still alive. And I was like, man,
Is
dude, I feel
text
so
an
fucking bad
AI?
for church. Is text an AI? She's a freelancer.
A lot. So,
She's a
like, what if
freelancer.
she's part of?
But she's a freelancer. Like, she's got the name Texas.
Doesn't mean. I mean, they've done a bunch of shit. It doesn't mean that she couldn't be.
Well, let me say this. Going back to what you said, Joey, about if you kind of pay attention to it or whatever. I'll say that I definitely didn't pay attention to everything that happened, like the first time through I was watching it or whatever, and understand all the references. But yes, I mean, it does put a different perspective on it, so that if you do, like when I went back and watched it, basically, it's like, oh, holy shit, that was there. Even the stuff that maybe they didn't mean to do it, but they tied it in with it. It's like, oh, holy shit, that makes sense. Oh my god, that fits into this. Like everything, like definitely clarifies a lot of the shit that happened up to this point for sure. So there's a lot of details and hints or whatever that you don't realize the first time through when you're watching it that come into play or whatever for sure.
I probably didn't really get a full grasp on the whole freelancing versus AI versus the whole red versus blue simulation, like just overall arc and how they connect with each other, probably until like my third time watching through and just being able to like just go through.
Oh yeah, dude. My third time watching it through, that'll be the day.
You're obviously not gonna
That'll
watch
be
it
the
more
day,
than just the one time we're watching it now. I'm just saying. And obviously when we get to a certain point of the end, as questions are asked, me and Tony will be able to fill in those blanks.
Always got the Kardashians to keep
Third
up with.
time,
it,
dude.
right?
Challenge
No time
accepted.
for red versus blue.
Bro, I got a whole season to watch. I ain't watched that shit in over a year. I gotta watch this last season for sure.
But
and weeds.
the other thing to keep in mind with this is the director and chairman are going back and forth, and the AI are basically fully functioning like conscious beings essentially. I mean, you've seen Church this entire time, like he's an AI. So AI have rights in the UNSC, at least in the storyline. So they're obviously not equivalent to human rights in the same system or whatever, but you can't go around. It's the same thing with like animals in real life.
Rights after they were tortured or before they were tortured?
That's if you've been paying attention to what they've been saying. The chairman said, we specifically gave you one subject, and now we're hearing that you have multiple. So we are digging in to find out how this happened.
Yeah, they have no idea that
they had no idea that this was going on. Only the chairman knew what they were doing. The director. Only the director knew what they were doing. Now the chairman's trying to figure out, we gave you one AI. How is it you now have multiple? So they didn't know the torture shit was going on. And that's why he's so defensive and coming back saying, whenever it comes down to science, you basically try to find a way to break out of what you're limited with and shit like that, and saying like, we didn't break any rules that were already stated or or all this other bullshit. So he's trying to talk his way out of it, because obviously, I mean, you can't just go around fucking torturing something that they consider to have its own rights. Right. So, because as much as like this is its own universe, this is kind of still set up somewhat within the Halo universe, and that's how they kind of base the AIs off of. I know not hardly anybody in here is a big Halo fan, so that's obviously me and Tony. But like with Cortana and shit like that, there's AIs throughout the Halo universe. Like they have their own personalities, they're their own people, they have their own rights technically and shit like that. They've kind of incorporated that into Red versus Blue as well whenever they talk about these AIs.
I'm a fan of the multiplayer within Halo.
I mean, they brought up Master Chief in this. They brought up Master Chief in this series. It's called the UNSC. That's where the chairman represents in terms of that or whatever.
And then even on top of that, what's cool is that Red versus Blue got noticed to be such a big thing that they actually started putting Easter eggs with these characters in the Halo games. So I want to say it was like Halo 3. Yeah, that's the one where you get the Arbiter on your team as well. There's like a spot where you can go and knock, and Caboose is on the other side of the door, and he's like, "What's the password?" And then it's like, "I don't know what the password is," and you just keep doing it. You can hear Caboose talking and shit. I think there's another one where they do something with a Griff, and then Griff Ball, and shit like that. So, yeah,
I love that game. Griff Ball was so fun,
dude. I knew it the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
I didn't want to say it or anything. I want to let one of y'all said it first.
But yeah, just this is definitely one of the points where like obviously you guys are going to start having questions, but just really pay attention to like what's going on.
This episode is so like iconic in Red versus Blue that I actually, before we started going back and watching it again or whatever, I actually thought it was like a season ender. We still have 3 episodes left
I did
this season.
too. Yeah, I totally thought it was like, Church, you're the alpha, season over. Now it's not even fucking close. Still got an episode. I was like, holy shit.
It was like, one more episode because I know what happens afterwards or whatever. But yeah, I
we
thought it
all
was like
know
the
how
last or
they
second to last episode
end their seasons, so.
with text dying.
Question. I know y'all said some of the holes are tied up. This might not be a hole. I don't remember how it was announced, but when Church,
I've never heard it used that way before. Some of the holes are tied up.
Well, plot holes are tied up. Some of the plot holes have been tied up.
Some of the loose ends.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're trying to say?
But look, so
fucking Joey's at a hole. Man, dude, this thing's deep. We need to tie this stuff.
We need to tie this fucker up, dude. So Tex and Church's relationship. I thought they were dated like before they came to this area or whatever. So that's what they like implied. Or was it implied they dated while they were there?
Well, Church said they dated before.
That's like a plot hole type thing then?
I think
like
didn't they say did they give him memories? I can't remember. Because otherwise he'd be curious about where the fuck he came from.
I don't know how far we want to go down this hole yet.
I'm pretty sure they said they gave him some memories.
How about this hole, dude?
Yeah, I'm talking about a hole. I'm not talking about tying a fucking hole. You can't tie a fucking hole. So Joey,
no
I want to hear a theory from you, dude. You were talking about fucking Alpha getting all the fragments back. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear a theory. What do you think would happen?
Shit.
Super Church.
Super Church sounds pretty dope. I really don't know, but it sounds like that could be like. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like a plot right there. Something could happen. Oh well, we're gonna spend 6 episodes on getting all the AI together and giving him a church and seeing what he can do. Maybe he can destroy something, start or stop something.
Or right now,
he's
Meta
definitely gonna collect them. Like he's gonna have to put himself together.
Amount of them now. Because you got to think about it. Meta has the one that he already had, which I believe is Sigma. And then it's rumored that he has Omega because he was at the base. And then we know for a fact he has Delta.
We already saw him have like 6 because they surrounded Delta when they grabbed him.
The sucky thing is,
damn, that's the sucky thing.
Fuck, dude, suspense.
Well, no, I was gonna say I don't.
Oh man, dude, you guys are never gonna guess what happened today.
I think we mentioned it before. I don't want to say a spoiler if it's something that I know that's gonna happen at some point. I don't know if Bree knows it or not. I should have mentioned it.
No, a spoiler.
Remember, fucking like season 7 or 8, I watched the thing with you, so I know this person isn't gone.
You've watched one episode, and Bree's seen the same episode.
Oh yeah,
I know what episode you're talking about. Bree's seen the exact same episode, so.
Then so.
It wasn't like anything story arc wise or anything like that. It was just
a big fight.
It was me showing how badass the CGI was, and I showed you the episode as well.
Years ago too.
Yeah, it was a long time.
By chance, I didn't pay full attention to that then.
There's a pretty good chance Joey doesn't remember much either.
Probably the person showed.
No, it legitimately has 0 to do story wise.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying the text isn't dead.
Yeah, basically. It was the episode. It was the episode where she fights off all the red and blue at the same time, and she keeps hitting Griff in the nuts like 1,000 fucking times the entire episode. That was it. There's legitimately no story in that episode at all. It's just I was talking to Joey, and he's like, "How do you fucking watch this show? It's just still playing the game." I was like, "Nah, dude, check this animation out." And I fucking showed him that one episode. So.
All right. Well, let's leave some for the end of series or end of season rather discussion here. So that will be the next time. 3 more episodes to the finale of this season. Good times. Then we're on to season 7. The beginning of the legit freelancer shit, dude. It's gonna be great. All right,
the season I'm thinking of.
I don't know, but until then,
you kill me.
Stay bright. Catch you on the dark side.
What's up, YouTube? If you enjoyed that video, then don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. And if you want early access to our other reaction series, which why wouldn't you? You can also support us on Patreon. Also, check out Twitter and Twitch. Links are in the description below. And thanks for watching.